Hello, Susanna here from the Good Property Company. So I'm in Madrid, I'm in Spain. I'm travelling around. I've got just under 3 weeks holiday exploring about 8 or 9 different places in Spain, which is great. Well, at the moment we're in Madrid, look, and everybody's on the lake having fun. You can hear them all screaming over there. And we're going, well, from Valencia, we're going down to Seville, we're going to Cadiz, we're going to see the monkeys at the Rock just for a laugh, and then up to Santiago de Compostela, and then over to Bilbao. So yeah, a good trip. So one of the things I want to talk about is just, can it be done? When I started, I didn't know anybody who'd, I genuinely thought that 5 properties was huge. My target was £1 million worth of property, which I got very, very quickly. I ended up buying £1.8 million of property in the first 18 months. But I could not see past £1 million. I thought that was enormous. And actually, even now, one of my cousins, who I just adore, has got, I think it's 5 or 6 anyway, has got 5 or 6 properties. And I remember a couple of years ago coming away from her house with her husband, who's a fab guy, and being so ridiculously proud in my head that they owned these properties and thinking that's huge. And then maybe after about an hour I kind of went, oh, hang on, Susanna, you know how many you've got. So even now, even though, because I never think about the number of properties I have, so even now, thinking that somebody owns 5 or 6 properties, thinking, oh my God, they've made it, I'm so proud of them. So if you don't know anybody who's ever done this before, then how on earth is this stuff going to be normal? And how on earth is owning property going to be normal to you? And how on earth is hanging out in the middle of Madrid going to be normal to you? It isn't. So one of the best ways of doing it is meeting up with people, and I know it's a cliche and I know people have said it before, but honestly guys, it really works, is meeting up with people who have done it. And generally we quite like helping other people. Generally we quite like sharing our expertise. It generally doesn't, if you like, hurt us to do so, because actually we're probably not going to buy the same house, so we might as well help each other and share knowledge. As an industry, it's quite well structured that way, that people like sharing knowledge. I personally love sharing knowledge, and as you can see, I do this for free on YouTube. So why don't you go to property meets? You've got tons of them. There's independent property meets, there's some larger property meets, and go meet a whole bunch of people who have done it already. And you'd be sat there, I remember one of the best times in property, I had some properties at the time, but I didn't have a huge number, and I certainly wasn't very affluent particularly. And I did a talk, and then 13 or 11 of us, anyway, over 10 of us went to the local McDonald's at like 11 o'clock at night because there was nowhere else open, and we sat there eating 99p donuts, and I'm pretty sure that everybody else at the table was a multimillionaire except for me at the time, and we just sat and gassed property. And I tell you what, it was clearly I don't get out enough, but it was one of the most exciting times of my life, because we're talking about a subject that I love with people who've been hugely successful, and the passion of their conversation was not about, what they'd achieved, but it was more about the technical and interesting competencies and knowledge of how they'd been able to do it. So they were really into it, which of course is what I am. So why don't you go to property meets, meet a bunch of cool people, maybe, not pay for lots of things straight away, and then follow up and network. You'll find some amazing people to share all this stuff with you. And also what you'll find slowly and over time is that it will then become normal to you. So for me, because I ran a sourcing business for 5 and a bit years, to find a deal more or less every week, we did, one year we did 63 deals, another year we did exactly 50 deals, to bring in a discounted property every single week was completely normal. Whereas 5 years early, it would have been completely unusual. I'd be going, well, how do you find deals that are discounted? Whereas now I'm just like, yeah, we buy them wholesale. We buy them from estate agents, from auction houses, from direct to vendor, direct to landlord, but we buy them wholesale. It's just a normal in my blood thing. So if you hung out with me, that would become a completely normal thing. And if you almost had a deal and it went away, I'd be like, oh, that's a shame, next. Because it will be a next thing. So go hang out with people who've been really successful. Go hang out and learn what they technically did to get them there, but just go hang out and listen to their attitude. I bet you, because I've observed this and I found it inspiring, particularly on those days when you're trying to pick yourself up from the floor, I bet you their attitude is, yeah, made mistakes, picked myself up, got going. And I found that really, really useful. Good luck, see you soon.